shonga chuji anji podra na toksen sanji kanji ngowonyit razme shulga musumas tunza barsawe lama namla sorwate kirba sanji chuwa shikdanye nyangba drupa shumla tanta sanjine manere dambe chanso loto jamso shabla sorate lame josme jamso toje dang shulge guru pama shumlaji shenru zinga gyalwe nyuku ye tanda drupa tanjina drupara ho ranjin lame drambe kajela kosme jaro shidru lazo Rale jana nepre tujo tuyo irmi jiwara shinjilo. Everybody give rise to bodhicitta, to benefit countless suffering sentient beings. May all beings have happiness and all the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the great happiness, devoid of suffering. May they forever dwell in the great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. To sacred Bodhisattva, the precious and excellent mind. Where it is not, may it arise. Where it is, may it never decline, consistently growing, rising higher and higher. Last week, we spoke about bodhicitta, the second verse in these 37 practices of a bodhisattva that were taught by Togme Zampo, these most incredible teachings. And in there, we really spoke, I think, about bodhicitta, relative and absolute or ultimate bodhicitta, and the practice of Tonglen, the exchanging of oneself, the suffering of oneself, or the happiness for oneself, to give the happiness to others and to take on the suffering of others for yourself. As Shantideva said, the greatest cause of happiness is for wishing for the happiness of others. The greatest cause of unhappiness or suffering is causing for the happiness for oneself. And the importance of sentient beings. That our practice doesn't leave sentient beings. They've all at one stage or some stage been our mothers. They've some stage benefited us, showed us love and kindness. And also our practice doesn't leave them. They are the objects of our practice of love and kindness, of compassion. Of patience, of offering, of generosity. And we carry on today. No, it's important with verse 12, and we'll get to verse 12 soon. It's important that we help others. And how do we help others? The best way to help others is through having the highest level of body, speech, and mind. This world is always changing. Life is changing. Technology is changing. So it's very important that we adopt or adapt according to these changes and use these changes, these ways, to help to benefit others as well. Of course, the teachings stay the same. The methods stay the same. But the approach that we approach sentient beings, we change. For instance, 100 years ago, there wasn't internet. Now, today, there is internet. A lot of people are using the internet. So in ways, we also use the internet to try and help others, to reach out to others. We so often are projecting externally. We look for our happiness externally. So we wash our car, we make sure our car is clean, we make sure our house is clean. We look after all of those external factors. We look after the garden. if we have the garden, we look after our job, but how often do we look inside? How often do we keep the inside clean? Our mind clean, our inner self. If we don't look after, if we only look after the exterior, not our interior self, our inner self, it'll be like having a car, a beautiful vehicle. A Porsche maybe, or an Audi, whichever car you feel to be beautiful, but inside there's no engine, or else there's a tractor engine inside. Or having a beautiful house, but that house there's nothing inside, or what's inside doesn't fit, it doesn't belong there, or it's all dirty, or it's so full of things that you can't move in the house. So it's very important to look after ourselves internally as well, our inner being. Look after our mind. Even science these days is looking at the mind, looking at meditation, how it affects us, how it affects the brain. So to benefit others, it's important that we transform ourselves to have the best, the highest level, the highest state of love and kindness and compassion, the highest state of wisdom. And in this way, we can really be able to benefit others or be much better, more enabled to benefit others. So how do we do this? First, we need to practice. We need to have a calm mind. And then with that calm mind, we need to have love and kindness and compassion. And on top of that, we need to understand this mind of ours, the nature of our mind, the essence of our mind. Transform, to attain liberation, doesn't mean that we just work hard. It doesn't just come from working hard. If it just came from working hard to attain liberation, then most people, many people, would attain liberation, because many people work hard. Many people work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, but this doesn't mean that they'll attain liberation. It doesn't mean that we just sit in a cave 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day. That was the case. Some bears, some animals live in a cave for a long time, but they don't come out. They haven't attained liberation. So in attaining liberation, it's important. Also, otherwise we look like a koala. Is it our objective to look like a koala? A koala looks like it's sort of in a state of meditation most of the time. Looks very kind, very compassionate. So it's very important that we use the right methods, that we use wisdom, that we use skillful means to be able to transform our mind, to develop our mind. We start to see things differently. What do we mean by starting to see things differently? We start to look, we say, wow, there's the infallibility of cause and effect. Everything's changing, impermanence. Cause and effect doesn't only apply to the people who believe in it. It applies to everybody. The importance of loving kindness. That everything is like a dream. Just with impermanence. Everything's changing. This life is like a dream. Just like the dream that we had last night. Or the night before. When we're having the dream. Wow, everything is so real. Somebody's chasing us. Somebody's hurting us. Somebody's talking to us. We're chasing after somebody else. We're having such a good time. We're having such a terrifying time. And we're having such a terrifying time. Then suddenly the alarm clock goes and we wake up and there's only a dream. Then we forget about it. Maybe we think about it. We tell everybody, I had this dream. But it's the same as our normal life. Everything's changing. It's changing all the time. Yesterday, the day before, the year before, it's gone like a dream. Maybe there's a couple of memories, a couple of photographs, a few learnings, experiences, but it's gone. It's gone like a dream. Just like that dream that we had last night. The future hasn't arrived yet. We don't live The future isn't decided in the future. It's decided now, in the present. And even the present. What is the present? Say, live in the present. But this present as well. When exactly is this present? Is it the second? But this second can be divided into milliseconds. And of those milliseconds, which one is the now? And that now is gone. Where's the now? So everything is illusory. So it's important to realize the true nature of this world, to recognize the illusory nature of this world. So we see everything is empty. Even science. I spoke earlier about science. Science is also saying, wow, actually, maybe everything is empty. Before it was divided when we were younger, atoms. And those atoms now were made out of protons and neutrons, and a nucleus, and everything was moving. And now there's quarks. Now we can divide it into quarks. Then if we get more machinery, we'll be able to make it smaller and smaller until eventually we might find that everything is empty. So just like that car that we spoke about. It looks so real, so solid, but it can be divided into tires, the car, the chassis, the body, the engine, the steering wheel, the flicker, the seats, and those can be divided up into smaller parts, into atoms, and those atoms into neutrons, protons, the nucleus, and that can be divided up, quarks, and divided up. And we see that all of those atoms, in fact, are not solid. They're not moving. They're moving. So everything's moving. So everything that we thought was so fixed and not moving is now we see is moving. Everything is empty. But the car still appears. Just like this eye that's so important. Of 7 billion or more people in this world, there's one eye. And this eye is so important. The way we carry on, the way we act, this eye is more important than the 7 billion people in the world. This eye that is so important. Where exactly is it? We investigate, we look. Is it in my legs? If it's in my legs, is it the right leg or the left leg? Let's say it's the right leg. Is it in my thigh, in my knee, my calves, my feet, my toes? Which toe? Okay, well then let's have a look. Maybe it's not there. Is it in my arms? Right or left? Let's use the left arm this time. Is it in my bicep, my tricep, my forearm, my fingers? Is it my fingers? Which finger? The thumb, index finger, middle finger. I must be careful how I make those signs. The ring finger, the little finger. Which finger is it in? Is it in? We look in our organs. Is it in my bladder? Is it in my kidneys, my liver, my spleen? Maybe my heart or my brain, my lungs. If it's in my heart, it's the left side of my heart, the right side of my heart, up, down. Which part of my heart is it? What happens if I have a heart transplant? Or my brain? Right or left? Front lobe, left lobe, back lobe, right lobe. And if it is, what part of is it? Of the front? Let's say it's the front lobe, the right lobe, front right. Which neuron is it in? Which synapses is it in? Where exactly is that thought? Who's put a thought into a test tube? Where exactly is it? Where's this eye? But this eye appears. There's this eye, here's the eye, but where exactly is it? And then our mind as well. Must be mind. Where is mind? Is it inside? Where inside? We've just done that whole test. Where's this eye? If we can't find the eye, where's the eye? Where's the mind? Where is the mind? Well, if we can't find it inside, maybe it's outside. Is it in the trees, the rocks, in the earth, in the sky, in the air? Do you breathe it in and breathe it out? Where is this I? Where is this mind? Interesting. If we can't find it outside, we can't find it inside. Does it move inside and outside? Maybe in the breath. If when we're looking inside, it goes outside, and when it's outside, looking outside, it goes inside. How exactly does this happen? Where is this mind? But we still think, don't we? We still have thoughts. We still have awareness. So where is this I? Where is this mind? But as we say, it still all appears. I'm on this video, aren't I? I appear on this video. Where is the I? So this is emptiness and appearance, the inseparability of emptiness and appearance. Everything is empty, but it appears. Just like the computer and the computer games. There's so many computer games. Incredible. And when we play them, they're so real. We don't want to go to sleep at night. We carry on sometimes 24 hours, 48 hours. We don't even notice that we're eating, that we've eaten. Some people don't even go to the toilet. We're so involved in it, so involved in these games. But these games, what are they made of? Ones and zeros. All of these computer programs, what are they made of? Ones and zeros. All of these computer games, ones and zeros. But we don't see the ones and zeros, do we? We see the game. So maybe sometimes life is like these computer games. So there we have the emptiness and appearance, the inseparability. But it's not void. It's not nothing. And this mind is so important. It's the boss, it's the captain. Mind, how do we experience this world? Through body, speech, and mind. And where's the source? Mind instructs body and speech. Without the instruction of mind, we wouldn't talk, we wouldn't have those ideas. And the mind instructs the body what to do. So mind is so important. So it's very important to attain, to develop the highest state of mind. If we have the highest state of mind, then the highest state of action should follow. So today, we talk about verse 12 of these incredible teachings of Togme Dzangpo, the 37 practices of a Bodhisattva. And verse 12 reads, even if others in the grips of great desire should steal or encourage others to take all the wealth that I possess, to dedicate to them entirely my body, possessions, and all my merits, from the past, present, and future, this is the practice of all the Bodhisattvas. And I think, read that again. Did he really say that if everybody takes all of my things, that I must dedicate it for their benefit, for them to attain enlightenment? Incredible. So in these verses now, I think verse 12 and 12, 13, maybe even 14, we start to deal with problems and how they arise and how to deal with them. How to change and transform our minds. Remember, the important thing is we want to change, we want to transform our minds. We're not going to carry on like normal, when I say normal people, with a normal frame of mind. We want to transform our mind into that with the practice of a bodhisattva. Practices like Shanti Diva teaches, and like Tokme Zampo teaches. So it's important we transform our mind. What would normally happen if somebody stole all the things that we have? You might have two different types of thieves, many types of thieves. But you get the robbers and the thieves. I'm not too sure exactly what the correct definition is. But those robbers, those people that are in your face with guns and knives, they threaten you. They push you on the ground. They tie you up. They maybe beat you, hurt you, and take your things. Force you to tell you where everything is. Otherwise they're going to hurt you. And they do hurt you. And you get the thieves that sneak in. You don't see them coming. You don't see them going. Sometimes it's like these thoughts of ours as well. When you go on retreat, you have those thoughts in the beginning, those very strong thoughts. We're not used to taming our mind, transforming our mind. Our mind is full of these very strong thoughts, these very strong emotions. Meditating and they come again and again. And then after a while your mind settles down and then those thoughts come like thieves. You don't see them coming. They sneak in. They take away your awareness. You don't even not have been aware of them. They take away your happiness. And then they disappear. Then suddenly you realize, I'm so angry, I'm so unhappy. We haven't seen them playing their games. So sometimes you might see somebody sitting there, suddenly they're looking very angry or they're crying. You say, how's your meditation going? Oh, it's fine. They say, have you been watching? Have you seen all these thieves come in? All of these subtle thoughts come in and play their games? And I suppose not. Otherwise, why would we be getting angry? Why would we be getting upset? Because we haven't seen these thoughts developing. They've been playing their games like thieves. We haven't even seen them. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, we're unhappy. Angry. Anyway, so we have these thieves and robbers that not only steal our time and our happiness, our life, but in here as well, we have the material goods that have been stolen. So what would we normally do? If you've been pushed on the ground, beaten, threatened that they're going to take your life, they take all your things right in front of you. Afterwards you feel very angry. You might feel a lot of fear, a lot of angst, want revenge. Hope that they get caught, that they go to jail. And if they go to jail, you have to spend time. Court cases causes a lot of unhappiness, a lot of time, wasting time. You have to look at them every day. Doesn't bring about a great sense of happiness, does it? Wishing for their justice. You get the justice, it doesn't mean that you're going to be happier anyway. Some people feel violated. Thieves come in, steal their things, even if they don't see them taking it. Their space has been violated. They feel nervous. What happens if it happens again? What happens if I wake up and they see me waking up? What else did they see? What else did they take? Hope that everything that they have gets stolen as well. I hope that they get beaten even more than I got beaten. All of these feelings, all of these wishes against those people that have made you unhappy, that have taken your things. And you really see this. You meet people that have had unhappy experiences with thieves. They remember it. It hurts them again and again. Maybe if they've been unfortunate enough to be harmed, the body heals. But the mind, the emotions, they don't heal so quickly. They remember again. They hear a noise. They're nervous. They're anxious. They see something. They get uptight. A year later, they're still remembering this event. And it causes them unhappiness. So, how do we change this? Transform this. To be like a bodhisattva. To practice like these great teachers. And they really are very, very different. I remember we were in a retreat in Spain. The last day we all went out to celebrate. And we came back and all the electronic goods had been stolen. All the computers, all the phones. I thought, oh no. Rinpoche was with us. And we went to Rinpoche and we said, somebody went to Rinpoche and said, Rinpoche, all our things have been stolen. Your computer has been stolen as well. And Rinpoche just smiled. He said, oh, how wonderful. Let me dedicate all of these merits to the enlightenment of these people that have taken everything. I hope they're happy. I hope they use everything well. He even said, you know, my computer had such wonderful teachings and I'd organized them so well. Whoever took my computer, I hope they get to listen to these teachings. And I hope the way that they like the way the computer's been organized. I hope it's really beneficial for them. How many of us think like this? So you see, these great teachers, they really think very differently. Instead of getting angry and upset and hurt. And if you do this, you get hurt, you have two types of suffering. One is you've lost your computer. You've lost this good of yours that you hold so dearly, that is so useful to you. So you have this suffering, and then you have all of these emotional sufferings. But these great teachers, well, they're dedicated to the benefit of all sentient beings. So as a practitioner, this is what we should be trying to do. Think, wow, this is wonderful. My teacher has arrived. How's my practice going? Have I got a lot of emotions? Have I got anger? Have I got disappointment? Or am I going to dedicate the benefit of them having this now to benefiting all sentient beings? My teacher has arrived. Wonderful. Now I know what it's like when something is stolen. I'm not going to steal other people's things. Wonderful. My cause and effect has ripened. This wouldn't have happened. If without a cause, there won't be an effect. Somehow, some other life, I must have stolen something, taken something of somebody else's. Now these causes have ripened. So they've ripened. They won't happen. These are finished. How wonderful. So everything that happens can be practiced, dedicated to their enlightenment. What we're not saying here is that we just have to give everything away and have nothing. We still appreciate what we have. What we have, we use well, wisely, with gratitude, with joy. Doesn't mean that we say, here's the keys to the neighbor's house. Take their things as well. Go to town. But it does mean that what we have, we use. We appreciate. And if it disappears, well, we don't have all of those emotional attachments to it. So it's not to not have things. Material things we need, we use. We can use these things to benefit others. But not to have the attachment and all of these negative emotions associated with it. Even Togme Zampa, it is said that he too encountered robbers once on the road. He was traveling with a group of people, group of students, and some robbers came and they stole everything that they had. And when they'd finished, he dedicated all the merits to all sentient beings, to their enlightenment, to the robbers' enlightenment. Even went to the extent that he saw which way they were going. And he saw, if they go that way, people are going to recognize his goods, and the thieves will have a lot of trouble. They might get caught. So he said to the robbers as they were leaving, he said, stop, stop, stop. And they stopped. He said, don't go that way. Go another way, because this way people recognize my goods and you get caught. So he even helped the robbers. So remember, it's very important the way we view things. Not to do it the normal way, to change our attitude, our mindset as practitioners. And let's finish there. First, we dedicate the greatest of gratitude to our perfect teachers. The greatest of gratitude to Gyalwai Nyugu Rinpoche, Achok Lama, Tulga Arik Rinpoche, all our perfect teachers. Due to them, we know the Dharma, we can transform ourselves and benefit others. That by these merits may all attain omniscience, having defeated the enemies of wrongdoings, the enemies of birth, old age, sickness and death. By this merit may all obtain enlightenment. Sonam de tamcha tsepanye, tobne nyepe tranang kaje. Keka nachi balang trupai, tibu tsoli droa sho.